Today, I actually made a big change to my character, and I got a lot of different upgrades for it, allowing me to do the tropical island better. I also set a new personal best for the tropical island in getting 265 splinters. So theoretically, 300 is possible. I am using only all rusted scarabs, so I'm going to do a quick overview of the gear. Then I'm going to calculate the profit from doing the tropical islands and what you need to do in order to get the same amount of returns. But right now, this character is at like a crossroads in that
Here for a deal.
so many pieces of gear needs to be upgraded, and upgrading the helm or the boots will make me have to also upgrade the other one. Because if you lose freeze immunity on the alpha cell, you have to get freeze immunity on the boots. So it's quite exciting, but I did get a lot of upgrades, so I'm going to go over that. Then I'm going to go over the tropical island. What's it called? Profit margins, and then lastly I'm going to go over quickly what you need to do to look in POB to figure out your damage and how to configure the POB to figure out why your damage is actually so bad, because I do get a lot of questions about why is my POB so low damage, or why do I do so much less damage than you, and why am I always dying. So I'm going to go through the key components in the path of building profile to show you what you need to look for and why your POB may be low in damage. So my character's gear has changed a little bit. As you can see, I'm using these unique boots. I don't think I was using this yesterday. I just swapped this out. So the reason why I'm able to use Void Walkers is because I wanted to use Spark Gem without Anomalous Spark. Anomalous Spark is actually not that great of a gem because Proj Speed is pretty much everything. So you can consider that Proj Speed is pretty much your damage. Because Spark has a unique aspect to it in that it scales with damage. It scales with duration, and it also scales with projectile speed. So all of those three things are important. So if you look at these two gems, first of all, Anomalous Spark I think is very expensive to get 2120. So already there, that's around like 10% damage. And then the difference in proj speed, one is 19% and the other is 40%. And if you got 23 quality, it would be a difference of 14% proj speed. And since we have no real access to proj speed, getting that amount of projectile speed is invaluable. So this pair of boots, wait, why did I even use this pair of boots? I also want to enchant on the pair of boots. So I got attack and cast speed if you killed recently. And if you're going to be doing bossing, you kind of want this enchant here. Damage pen, 10% of enemy elemental resistances if you haven't killed recently. Now this pair of boots I actually failed the Maven Orb, so it's kind of sad, but that's why I didn't craft the boots. So if you're just doing tropical island, which I currently am, you're not going to have, you haven't killed recently, you're always going to have killed. So I feel like this pair of boots serves the content that I'm doing better. Now, the reason why I'm able to drop the Doriani's Delusion is because I was able to get an aura on my Call of the Brotherhood that I showed you guys yesterday. And this allows me to put the Purity of Lightning into my helmet. So this pair of boots is pretty much a double upgrade, right? I upgraded the ring that allowed me to upgrade the boots. So that's how you can look at this upgrade. In order to get rid of the aura socket, we had to get another aura on our ring. Now the helmet, I'm running Purity of Fire, Herald of Thunder, which actually does not benefit from Alpha's house, so this is probably not optimal. And I'm running Purity of Ice and then Purity of Lightning, so I have 3 purities in here because of the +2. In order to have 90% resist, the purities need to be level 23, and you need to have 300% aura effectiveness. And that's because you have 5%, and then 5 times 3 is 15, and 75 plus 15 is 90. So if you don't have 90% resist, it's because you don't have 300% aura effectiveness, and you don't have level 23 purities. So in order to get a 23 purity, you have to put a 21 in the +2, and the +2 can be in either the gloves if it's corrupted or the boots if it's corrupted. Now the Nebulous, I'm still looking to see if I should buy a double damage Nebulous. Now this Nebulous right now is not too bad, and a double damage Nebulous runs around 20x, so maybe that will be one of the next purchases. Although I really want to replace this helm, because this helm is actually this problem for my ES. I have 3.76. So if I got an ES helm, that would give me around like 150 to 200. But the ES helm is pretty annoying to craft because you have to hit the Ashling and get the +2 auras. Or you could lose the 16% cast speed and get a +2 aura Void Walker. And that might actually be the play if you want to make the helm really easily. So I might just do that. Because you do get 20% multi. So the helm that we would be making, let's see if we can look at a Spark character. Let's see who has the highest damage for Spark. So we have, oh, Rick Owens again. So he made the helm. So you can see this is the helm that he would use. It has 20% multi awakened with 7% RMR. Both are, only the RMR is elevated. So this helm is actually pretty easy to make. He got stun and block recovery on the suffix. And then he pretty much has to do Ashling with prefixes. Suffixes cannot be changed. And then pretty much exalt some random thing on there. And then pray that it hits off the suffix, right? Or it hits off the... Either or, it doesn't matter. But the hard part is to get the +2 AoE. And he actually got it. So you can see that this helm with just the crafted energy shield is 146 ES. And 146 ES is huge. If I had 146 ES, I would have like 4.4k ES, which would feel a lot better. So crafting a helm is probably going to be one of my next goals, along with getting the Nebulous. Now, another thing to consider is the amulet. The amulet, I could also make a vitality amulet. If you look, he has a vitality amulet with RMR, and he also has pen. He doesn't have multi though, but the penetration probably makes up for the lack of multi, or it's close. So that's another thing I could do to gain a gem socket. So at this point, it pretty much comes down to, do I want to get the gem socket from a gray shield or the amulet? And those are the next two available gem options. And lastly, you can see here, I have a Hands of the High Templar, and I wanted to go over briefly why Hands of the High Templar is so good. So a lot of people might know that I was a huge proponent of using Asenath. My Asenaths are currently for sale. But that doesn't mean that Asenath is bad. That just means that Spark is a skill that has pretty good clear. It does not need like Explode to carry the clear. If you have 5 Pierce from the boots, and 5 Pierce is much better than the 2 Pierce from Anomalous Spark, you do not need the Explode for Asenaths to get the clear to be better. What you do need is more damage, and I did need more single targets, so I just got an LE weakness pair with +1/+2. Now a lot of people might be wondering here, what aura gets applied? So how it works is, in Path of Exile, it will choose the aura in the beginning of the alphabet. So the first one is Elemental Weakness, right? Because it's at the beginning of the alphabet. And then it will try to cast Enfeeble afterwards. But because Elemental Weakness is on there first, and you have a curse limit of 1, it will be unable to apply Enfeeble or Temp Chain. So it just keep Elemental Weakness on there forever. So this, what's it called, glove here, is pretty much a LA weakness +1/+2. And I bought this for only 4 exalts. I don't know how I bought it for 4 exalts, but this would probably go for around 9 to 10 exalts. I think people are just intimidated by the all 3 curses and I have no idea what's going to work or what's going to happen. But I've tested it out and it actually works. As I said, that LE weakness will be the one that applies. So if you see a Hands of the High Templar or multiple curses, you can just know that the curse at the beginning of the alphabet will be the one applied. And this glove is huge because the way we use this pair of gloves, and this is the pretty much what everyone's going to use, is you have Smite linked to Empower. Now I have Leap Slam right now. I don't have Smite because I need another gem socket from either the amulet or the shield. And Empower is also 8 exalts level 4. Thank you, Chris Wilson. So you have Empower, Smite, Discipline, and Righteous Fire. So what that means is you get 3 levels or 4 levels because it's +1 gems. So you have a level 28 Smite, and then you have a level 28 Discipline, and then lastly you have a level 28 Righteous Fire. So that is an insane amount of damage if you want to just see what it's like. So I have the POB. So I am going to go over the POB real fast and how you can optimize your damage, but this is just for a little demonstration right here. So Smite is at level 21. I'm at 3.6 million damage. If you put the Smite to level 28, 4.6 million from, what was it again? 3.6, 4.6 million. That is like a 30% DPS increase, right? And then you see Righteous Fire. Let's take Righteous Fire and bump that up a little bit to, what's it, 28? So 28 Righteous Fire, 4.8 million now. So that is an absolutely insane amount of gain. And then you can also see the Discipline, right? What happens when Discipline is level 28? So ES was, what was it? 3.591. Now you bump it up to 28. 4,247. So this is a massive increase to our survivability. and our damage. And Hands of the High Templar has always been the best gloves. This is not even close to being the best. The best pair of gloves is probably a +6 LE weakness spell crit or +8 LE weakness. So some of you might be wondering how you search this. So I have this in the Better Shopping Trading PoE, whatever it's called. Better Trading PoE. So where's the Hands of the High Templar? There's too many things. Ore stackers just need too many items, but Hands of the High Templar. So here you have a bunch of stuff, right? So these are all the good ones that are useful for us. Aura, AoE, gems, duration gems, LA weakness, spell crit. So 3 of them together is already really good. So if you see 3, the cheapest is like 5x. Now I think LE weakness is extremely good. So let's just say we want elemental weakness to be guaranteed, right? So you type in this and then you have this. And then you have 2. So it has to be 2 and LE weakness. So you can see the cheapest is like, wait, I've messed this up. So wait, and implicit. Right, this should be a different result. Wait, Hands of the High Templar. But why is this only 1? Count 2 maximum. Oh, it's because this is okay. So we have to get rid of that. So now we see the cheapest is 15 exalts for +2. So this is pretty much +4. So +1 is pretty much +2 because of Empower. So +1, +2 is all the same. So this is +4 LE weakness, 15 exalts. Now, let's go look at all the people on and offline. So I got a complete steal on my gloves. +4 LE weakness is 10 exalts. This guy's selling. This one's +4 LE weakness spell crit for 13 exalts. Oh wait, it's +2 curse. So this one's just +1 LE weakness spell crit. So you probably want a +4 LE weakness because plus level of gems also increase your survivability because it increases your discipline level. This is +2. So you can see getting 3 of those mods together is already considered really good. And if you want 4 of these mods together, it's extremely, extremely, extremely expensive. I don't even know if it exists currently. So most people just puss out after they get like 3 mods and they're like, that's it for me. So there's pretty much none that are actually 4 modded. 4 modded will probably be like 60x, or I don't even know how much it would be. So there's not one 4 modded one. So you should try to get LE weakness and either +4 to gems, and that should be pretty much good enough. LE weakness helps out a lot during mapping, so if you're playing Spark, be sure to get it. We do not need the Asenath for clear, and hence why my Asenath is on the market for the low price of 5.3 exalts. So right here, this is the run, I think, of the tropical island, and you can see here that I pretty much got 7 layers of rewards, and I'm pretty much just running around trying to get the white pods to try to break it. And you get, this is pre Hands of the High Templar, so it became a lot easier after this. I think you could, and I started averaging 200 plus more consistently. But even with Asenath, and I guess I just got a good map layout, I got 255 splinters, and 255 splinters is a lot of money, right? Let's check out how much simulacrums are currently. Simulacrum is currently, I think, are like 1.4x or so. Well, I can't really check it, but it was around like 1.4x. So let's just say you get around 1.4x, and you get like what, 200 splinters on average. If you get like, let's say you can average 200 splinters, right? Which is like kind of unreasonable, but it's pretty much 1.4 times 0.67, which is, what is that? Let's see. That's around like almost 1 exalt. So let's just say in Simulacrum Splinters, you have around 1 exalt in every single map. So 1 exalt, and then how much do you have to put into the map? So what I like to use for the scarabs every time, and the scarabs does change depending on the sextants that you get. I use a rusted metamorph, a rusted blight, rusted elder, rusted breach. You could obviously go for a lot better ones, but these are the ones that I like to use. I think they're incredibly cost efficient. You could also use a rusted legion. So rusted legion is what, like 4C I think on average. So you can see that the metamorph is 2C, blight 7C, 9, 11, 15 plus 16, 31 chaos. Then you have 1 exalt from the from the map itself. And you can pretty much assume that in the long run, all of these like map device things will give you back like the return. So if you do the blight, you're gonna get the oils, you're gonna get some blight maps. They'll average out to around 7C. I don't know. The elder, you probably won't find any more bases at this time because bases are pretty Well saturated. Legion, you'll get enough Legion Splinters. Like if you look at my tab, I have some Legion Splinters for sale. And if you add it all up, these things will probably all cancel out once you factor it in for the stuff that you can loot in the map. So you could say like on average each map is probably like 0.7, 0.8 exalts. And this is like not even including stuff like this. Like I have literally so many delirium orbs that I've looted throughout the course of the league, and these are 2 of them are 40 chaos. So you can probably say on average, if you can average around 200 plus splinters, or 250 even. 250 is probably a little harder, but 200, 220, I think you could do it relatively consistently. If your character was fast enough, you would probably be averaging around, like, let's say, almost 1 exalt profit per map, maybe a little less, right? So let's see how long does this map take me to do. So this is at an hour 52 of the VOD. So I pretty much started it at... The map actually does not take me that long. Hour 52. I started it at like hour 43. So let's just say each map takes around 10 minutes, and then you can do like 6 maps per hour. So that's around like 6 exalts profit per hour, which is not the best, but it's actually a pretty fun thing to do, pretty fun method. There's not really that much buying. Buying the scarabs is a joke. There's actually someone even called Scarab Man that you can actually just buy all the scarabs from. And then you just have to sustain tropical islands. And alpha missions is something that is an issue, and I'm going to go into that real fast. So I started using this booming populace. I bought this for like 19 chaos, and I think this will give you more splinters overall than using 8%, because 14% pack size gets scaled. It's pretty much like what, like 20%, 23% pack size if you had a high roll one. And this has 14 uses remaining, so you're pretty much paying like 1 chaos per map or 1.5 chaos per map to have that much more pack size, and it does make a difference. I ran like one of these, and it was an easy 200, and there was nothing really special about the map. It was actually 220, so that was pretty good. Then I'm using split, so 3 8%. So you pretty much get 10% because of the secrets of the stone, so 30%. And then 15% from this ascendancy right here, 5, 5, 5, so 45%. And then booming populace, I think, is probably worth it, and it will allow you to always get consistently high numbers. And then Lexajors, this one is where I farm the alpha missions. Now I am still using this thing here. This allows you to progress your Cyrus a lot faster. So today while streaming, while trying to farm up alpha missions, and the way the alpha missions work is that I think there's a 35% base chance to get the mission, right? When you finish a map, and then it goes to 10%, 45%. So pretty much, oh wait, so you have 35% chance basically, and then 10% from here is 45% chance to grant. I mean, this is a separate roll, I think. So 35% chance, and then each of these are equally weighted. So you can get 1 out of 5. So each mission is around 7% chance to happen. And then because of your stones right here, each one of them, let's say they're perfectly rolled, 125% with secrets of the stone. So 125 times 4 is 500% more likely. Then you have 5 rolls of it. So you would have 1. So it's 5 waiting for this thing, and then the rest of these are still 1. So I think it is what, like 5 out of 9 is the map, or 5 out of 10 or something like that. So 50% of the time. So you have like around a 17.5 to 20% chance to get an Atlas mission. And then you have to factor in the 10% chance that you get this one for time and again. So you pretty much are looking at around a 1 in 4 chance to get a mission every time you do a map, an alpha mission. So that means you have to run around 40 maps to get 10 alpha missions, which takes quite a while to do, 40 maps. And 40 maps, you will definitely spawn Cyrus. And this will also allow you to build the map pool back up, because Tropical Islands is a little hard to sustain. I do have it triple favorited. Now, the main thing to keep in mind with this method is that I might also start trying to use Master Seek's help, because there is a saying that when you spend that much time preparing, it is an opportunity cost of time, and I could just be doing more Tropical Islands. So I'm going to be testing this out. But either way, it works fine. You can use Lexajors to get the missions, or you can use Master Seek's help. So you'll just have some maps that don't have alpha, which is bad, but you have to make do with what you got, because doing the 40 maps is going to take a while, and 10 missions is not even that much, right? So if you want to do Lexajors to get more alpha missions, it's kind of pretty much farming Cyrus too at the same time, because you're pretty much running to the boss, killing it, and then getting out. But basically, that's my 2 cents on the whole farming method, and I do believe that it's very profitable. Probably one of the better profits in the game, and it's actually incredibly fun to do, and it will push your character to its limits. Now, lastly, I wanted to go over quickly is POB and why some people have low damage. So a lot of people ask me like, why is my damage so low and what gems should I use? So right here you can see I have Arcane Surge, so this is my Spark link. So if you click Arcane Surge, you can see that this is sorted by DPS. So you have Spark selected. These are all the gems sorted by DPS. So Elemental Focus is actually second, crit damage is third, and then Ele Pen Awaken added lightning damage is actually a 12% damage loss. So overall, you can see here that Arcane Surge is the best gem. And then a lot of people ask about Awakened Spell Echo versus Anomalous Spell Echo. So Awakened Spell Echo is actually a 0% increase, or it's a very low increase. It's a tiny amount. This is a level 5 20 quality Awakened Spell Echo. But using Anomalous 2020 is almost the same, and then you also save a bunch of money. The rest of these gems are pretty much the same. So first off, a lot of people have low crit chance, and then that's why, oh no, someone wants to buy my Asenaths. So a lot of people have low crit chance. So if your crit chance here is like 25%, you're not doing a lot of damage, right? If your multi is under like 300%, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. So you need to make sure that this number here is around 60%, and then your crit multi is around 300%. So crit multi, I'm able to get some crit multi on the tree here, and then you're also able to get crit on your jewels. So those are the sources of crit multi. This jewel right here also gives like 49% crit multi. So you can see the name of the game is to make sure crit chances are at around 60 at least, and then crit multi is above 300%. Now, energy shield is another thing. Your energy shield should probably be around like 3.5k minimum. If you're not at 3.5k minimum, you're probably going to die to a lot of random one hits, and this includes like what? This includes pretty much any physical hits, any big hits, because like you have a lot of defenses and mitigation, but if you have a low health pool, you will still get one-shotted, right? You can have the best defenses in the world, but you need to have the HP to back it up. So next, you go here, physical damage reduction. Is this 40+%? If it's not 40+%, it means you're not at, what's it called, 300% aura effect. And you can check your aura effectiveness by going to, I like to use vitality, because a lot of other gems have other, what's it called, have stuff that boosts its aura effectiveness. Like if you use purities with arrogance, arrogance adds 20% aura effectiveness. If you use vengeful commander, then wrath and hatred have additional aura effectiveness. So if you look at, what's it called, let's go to wrath. So it's at 308%, and you can see here that it has two vengeful commanders, which gives it 30%. So you've used vitality. Generally no one has anything for vitality, right? So vitality is at 2.63. This is the aura effect mod that you should be looking for. Now 2.63 is actually 300% for me, because I'm running one purposeful harbinger, 3 purposeful harbingers with 2 heralds. So it lets me cap out the purposeful harbinger at 40%. So this calculator is a little weird because it's for allies, so it does not include purposeful harbinger. You can see the complete breakdown of it on the right side, and it does not have purposeful harbinger on it. So that's how you do it. So you add 40%, so I'm at 303%. So if you look at your vitality, you add in your aura effectiveness from your heralds, from purposeful harbinger, and if it's not at 300%, you need to do anything in your power to get to 300%. Whether that is buying levels or getting another cluster jewel of more 3% nodes to take in, or getting a glorious vanity. So that goes hand in hand with, if you look at your resist and something is not 90% here, something is wrong and you need to fix it. And that's just an aura effectiveness issue. And then chaos res, negative 20% is bad. Honestly, I was able to fix mine to 0% with the cluster jewel here to get all chaos on this thing. So you need your chaos res to be around 0%, or you're going to die to chaos damage. And it'll just be like random one shots, and you'll be like, what the heck happened to me? I don't know what happened. But if you have around 4k ES, 90% all res, 40% physical damage reduction, 0% chaos res, you will be perfectly fine. You will not really die that much, and you'll be relatively tanky. If you actually look at the EHP pool, it's actually incredibly high for not having a guard skill, right? The chaos is obviously bad, so that's why you need to get your chaos res to around 0%. And that's just pretty much the whole, like, what's it called, whole way to tell why your character is not doing well in terms of offense and defense.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday. I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up. Climbing and climbing, I'm done with this ride, is what I tell myself, so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time starts down, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking and you're faking, girl. You never made a sound.
Now I'm just going to showcase the tropical islands because I wanted to have like some little, what's it called, a clip of the character in action. And it's pretty much just with, and when I got 255 splinters, I do think 300 is doable. And it will be fun to try to get 300 without like just cheating and buying winged scarabs. If you buy winged scarabs, you can definitely do it. But I do believe that there is a diminishing return, right, to be using better scarabs. If you're able to get 255, 260 with like not that much investment in rusted, and I think it caps out at 300 splinters no matter what. So there's no point in using better scarabs because it doesn't really add anything, especially Elder. It doesn't do anything. Blight is actually incredibly hard, so I don't know. But I will be trying in the next days. I keep getting like, I actually really enjoy doing Tropical Island, all league issues aside. But I do have 10 logbooks saved up, and I'll probably do like a stream where I do like 20 or 30 logbooks and try to see the profit I get. And I did look at some people's charts. There are some people out there who have plotted out like which area is good, because I think every single area drops different stuff. So you can see how Forest Ruins is Druids of the Broken Circle, Bluffs is Black Scythe Mercenaries. So each area drops a different type of loot. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to do logbooks. I'll try to explain it better in the next coming days, but hopefully this video has been pretty helpful in like trying to teach you like why your character is dying, and also expand it a little bit more on the farming method. I do know the farming method is probably pretty hard to actually pull off, but people will be getting better and better gear, and yeah. But anyhow, that's going to be it for me, and thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I do try to stream every day, but I hope you find more mirrors and exalts than I do, and see you next time. Bye.